How's it going, guys? Donovan here. As you can see, I have both the RT and the Hellcat behind me. The Hellcat's actually covered up because sometimes my grandma walks on the side of the car on the left side of the garage over here and brushes into it. So I actually, if the RT is parked over here, it gets the Hellcat car cover. Gets to live like a true Up Badger's car. I finally, actually, you can see in my left hand here, bought a new head mount. So I had lost mine a few months back, and I wanted to buy another one so I could do some POV drive videos. And there's actually something I wanted to talk about today regarding both of these cars. I need to go get something to eat anyway, so I figure I'll take the Hellcat out. We can get the first POV drive of the Hellcat on the channel. It's not going to be like a cool canyon drive or anything, but at least a decent POV drive where we can hear some whine, hear some exhaust, and talk about what's been on my mind regarding modifying both of these cars. So really quick, I'm going to undress the Hellcat and get her fired up. Also, ignore my socks and flip-flops. Slowly turning into a poorly dressed old man, and soon you'll see a Corvette on the channel. So as you guys can imagine, when I have both cars parked in the garage, it's not very easy to get in and drive either of them. Actually, the RT is super close to my toolbox, so I can't actually get in the driver's seat, and because I parked the Hellcat so close to the RT, I can't get in the Hellcat on the driver's side either. So I actually get in on the passenger side and crawl over in whichever car's on the left side. In the RT, I've been climbing in the back driver's side seat, climbing through the middle of the car, and then hopping in the driver's seat. And usually, if I park the Hellcat on this side, I'm screwed because there's no back seat. If you guys have ever seen Stradman, which I'm sure you guys have, the guy has like 5 million subscribers and like 15 cars. It's always funny watching him jam a bunch of cars into like a 3-car garage, and he's always like crawling over in between cars and blah 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 to get in. I feel kind of like that, except these are way more boring compared to the cars he's doing it in. He's doing it in like Aventadors and a Bugatti. This is a Dodge Charger. Anyways, let's get this thing started up. I'm gonna go put actual shoes on though. So of course we're gonna fire this thing up with the red key. The black key is actually the key to the Charger. I don't even know where the black key is to the Hellcat because I'm pretty sure I just threw it away immediately when I got it. No point in driving it with a black key. So this car, I don't know how well you can hear me. I'm getting gassed behind this thing right now. Completely stock exhaust, nothing done to it. It sounds horrible stock. Stay tuned. So if you guys were wondering if it's difficult or not to park both of those cars in the garage, I promise you it is an art, man. I've never clenched more. Driving a stock car is like absolutely amazing. Like, I really took that for granted because coming back to like this car is bone stock, not a thing done to it, zero exhaust work, the exhaust is completely intact, no mid muffler delete or anything. Coming from my RT, which as you guys know has a lot of things done to it, like the street manners of this are like ridiculously common. But as you guys should expect, this car is going to be modified as well. I'm probably, at least not now, gonna do the big cam and all that because it doesn't really make sense to do that in these first. These make a lot of power, as you guys know, with just like simple things like pulley changes. And so we're not gonna start with the cam and that kind of stuff. What we're gonna do is probably some exhaust work first, little things, intake, and then we'll see if I feel like dumping a lot of money into it. But that is also the point of this video. So I kept the RT because I love that car, and it was basically the car that I learned on, right? I learned how to work on cars on that RT. That's what built this channel, and to be honest with you guys, some of those skills are on my resume now, and I actually get asked about things I've done to that car in job interviews. And so one of the reasons I kept that car is because I am not done with it. I am not done modifying it. and I'm not done having fun with it. I'm not done that fart canned up car. I'm not done racing it. About a year ago, I started taking that car to the track and the 8th mile, and my times were not great. I went in the middle of the summer, actually like July, August, and so it was super hot. DA was terrible, 90 degrees. And also, as you guys know, the RT's trans is completely stock. So I have a stock torque converter in it, and a stock torque converter with a big cam doesn't really match well. I lost a lot of low end in the RT with the HRT Stage 2 cam. I've been getting the itch to just finally pick up a torque converter for it, get that thing installed, get the trans retuned for the torque converter, and take the RT back to the track when it's not 100 degrees outside. Because quite frankly, I'm not done with that car, and I still think it has a lot in it. My 60 foots were absolutely killing my 8th mile times. I was getting like mid-low 8s and like 2 60 foots, which are not great. If you guys watch Modern Red Hemi, he's another guy who, before he had his car on E85 and had a Pro Charger on it, he had a cam in it, and the setup was very similar to mine. His was, obviously he had more weight reduction. He had a better all-around setup, but he was getting pretty deep into the 1 second range, but of course he had a torque converter. Although I want to modify the Hellcat, I think I want to do the RT first, and I think that is going to be happening very soon. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to modify the Hellcat at all. This thing's still getting modified, but I think a majority of my effort is still going to go to the RT in terms of modifications. This car, of course, I still have a ton of videos to do to it. I filmed a first impressions thing. I filmed, you know, people's reactions in the Hellcat. Those, you guys, I don't think I've uploaded just yet. But for those people that were upset about me getting the Hellcat, I'm not done with the RT. In fact, the fact that I kept the RT should be enough to keep those people happy, but I guess you can't really impress everybody. So with that being said, let's put this thing in SRT mode here a minute. So I have, my favorite mode is Sport, and then I have a custom mode that leaves paddle shifters disabled. But one thing I love about this car is just how stiff the shifts are. So I don't know how loud that wind noise is. I apologize if that's been bugging you guys, but straight into a yellow light. So even the supercharger whine's not super loud in this because, like I said, the car's bone stock. It has no intake on it, but hopefully I can get a little room in between us and we can hear this car and do, can't do crazy pulls because it's 6:45 and people are driving home, and so I can't go crazy, but we could get a little bit of sauce going. I love this car because it pops stock. My RT pops sometimes when I'm getting on it and letting off, you know, because the E85 runs a little richer, you get some exhaust crackles, but this thing is doing it, and there's nothing done to the car. It just pops like crazy from the factory. Oh my god, those shifts are nuts. I know I want to save most of this for the first impressions, but one thing my RT doesn't have is the low end that this car has, and this thing is absolutely brutal. Like, I was nowhere near watt there, and the shifts were kicking my ass. You kind of start going illegal speed limits really quickly. Yeah, with that being said, let me know what you guys think. I'm not done with the RT yet. I want to throw a torque converter in it. I want to throw in some more supporting mods, like maybe some lower trailing arms, things like that that would reduce wheel hop. And I want to take that thing back to the track later this year when the weather cools down a little bit and it's dialed in with like a 3,000 plus stall torque converter. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think that's reasonable or if that's something you want to see. Like I said, we're still modding the Hellcat, but I won't put all my eggs in one basket and put all my money into the Hellcat. I still want to show some love to the RT, keep, you know, both audiences happy, keep myself happy, because really my experience with the RT, I still feel a little empty. I still feel like I didn't completely reach my goal with it, which I think my goal is to get somewhere in the 7s in the 8th mile, which I know isn't super ambitious, especially for its setup, but given that I'm a novice drag racer, I think that's a reasonable goal to set. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have some insight into what you think I should do, what you guys would like to see, and I'm gonna go have fun with this car when I don't have a camera strapped to my head incriminating me, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.